You know, life is full of seasons. And I've been thinking a lot lately about a season that was really amazing for me in my life. And that was when we started Seven. 7 will always be an extremely happy season of life for me, a happy memory. And as we think about seasons and as we think about our time in certain areas of life and then moving to other areas of life and different places and things to do, I can't help but think how even the day that we live in has seasons to it. There's night, there's morning, there's midday where you're getting that kind of slump at work, and then you can go home and have dinner. You know, another thing is that our week has seasons. And every week, there's a special season called Sabbath, a time where we can stop, we can remember who we are, we can remember who God is, and we can take time to be with him. As we enter into a season called Sabbath tonight, where for the next 24 hours we can be with Jesus and talk with Jesus, we don't have to worry about all the stuff in the world, all the stuff we have to deal with. I invite you to rest in this season. Enjoy it. Don't feel guilt. Don't feel worry. Feel rest, because we have a season built in every week where we can stop and be with God.
You unravel me with a melody. You surround me with a song of deliverance from my enemies till all my fears are gone. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. From my mother's womb, you have chosen me. Love has called my name. I've been born again into your family. Your blood flows through my veins. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. You split the sea so I could walk right through it. My fears were drowned in perfect love. You rescued me and I will stand and sing. I am a child of God. You split the sea so I could walk right through it. My fears were drowned in perfect love. You rescued me and I will stand and sing. I am a child of God. I am a child of God. I am a child of God.
Good evening, 7. Hope everyone is doing well. So happy to be standing here with none other than Douglas Elsey here in the building tonight. How you doing, Doug?
I'm good. You nearly forgot my name.
I was trying to think of your middle name, but then I realized it just wasn't important enough to remember.
It's my
Jay.
dad's name.
Douglas J. Elsey.
John.
Here tonight with Pastor Elsey, and it's so good to be with him. And as I'm with him tonight, and as he's with me, we're thinking a lot about seasons of life. You know, I can think back to just a year and a half ago, being here in Kansas City, working with you. Was one of the worst things in my life. No, I'm just kidding. It was an amazing season of my life. And when you hear older people talk, like when Pastor Elsie talks, he's very old, they often talk back in the good old days, or, oh, you know, back when I was a kid. You know what I'm talking about. Everyone does it. And I think we do it because life has a lot of seasons, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, you look at the seasons that we're in right now. We're in the spring, then comes summer, then comes the fall, then comes winter. There's this endless cycle that goes on and on. And sometimes it kind of catches us that it goes so quickly. And it's almost like, did we slow down and appreciate that season that God has just given us?
Yeah, it can be difficult to do that. I love spring personally because you think about all the life popping up around us. And I think about our lives, they're filled with life-giving seasons, but also crazy seasons. I think everyone here knows about a crazy season that just happened. We had COVID-19 happen, and we had tons of adversity in our country, things happening. It has been a really challenging past season. Yeah, just like how seasons change in life, seasons are starting to change now, aren't they? The weather's changing, but also things are changing around us. People are getting vaccinated. People are starting to lean more into some of the things around COVID, and because of that, we're getting healthier. Our communities are getting safer, and as spring is popping up and as people are leaning into this season, we're excited because we're getting to do things that we used to not be able to do very much in this past year. Yet, as we think about all of these seasons, and as we think about how life has been changing a lot, there are a lot of things happening for Seven in this season. As this new season is approaching, there's a new season for Seven that's about to come. But before we go there, we have to acknowledge kind of how the last year has been. Mm-hmm. Pastor Elsie, you've been here. I haven't been here. I've been at seminary, just head in a book, probably sleeping when I should have been studying. But you've been here. How's this last season been?
It's been difficult. Obviously, we closed down, and Seven was something that was incredible that happened right here in this room that was created for Seven. There was a lot of energy. There was a lot of excitement. And unfortunately, we had to go online. We didn't have a choice. And of course, Kyle took off and went to the seminary. And then on top of that, we lost Ed as well. And losing Ed was huge. And we went online. We did our best. There were a number of people who kept this ministry going that I will be forever grateful for, because it's a wonderful ministry. And when I look at the viewership, even when we went online, the viewership, believe it or not, more people watch Seven than our worship service Sabbath morning. And so there have been some challenges, but also there have been so many people that have stepped up. We've had some incredible speakers, we truly have, and I'm so appreciative to each of the speakers that have been involved and what they've brought and the messages that God has brought through them. The music is always amazing, as it's always been, and it's something that we switch on a Friday night, and we participate in Seven, and we look forward to Seven.
Yeah, there's been so many times during this last year where Annie and I, when we weren't having to be at Vespers at the university or something, we watched Seven. It was a part of our life still. And I think that we have to acknowledge that Seven has been surviving and thriving because so many people have poured into it. I think of the Ranks and all of their leadership in it. I think of Luigi week after week doing this thing. I think of the musicians and all of the people who come every single week to sing or to praise. And then all the people that started Seven, got Seven to where it was. You have Edgar, you have Christina, you have even Kyla, you have all of these different people. I know we're forgetting names.
We better be careful. We're going to leave somebody
I'm going to
out.
stop saying names because we're not going to remember all of them. Ali and Luo, just like Kevin Gonzalez, all these different people who did something, had a mark on Seven. Jenny, like the names just keep coming. Mel, all these different people. But seasons are kind of changing for Seven. Things are going to be changing around here. What's that change? What's that new season look like?
Well, we're going to pause. We're going to pause for a little while, and we're hoping that things open up. Unfortunately, we're very wary of COVID. Unfortunately, we're not sure that this is really finished. Numbers are going up in different parts of the world, and so we don't feel ready to bring 100, 120 people into this space. And so we're going to pause. But I don't think it's going to be the end, because we're going to look forward and we're going to see what the Lord has in mind. Yeah. And so we're going to take this pause for a little while.
Yeah, so it's a pause. And I think that that's a really amazing way to look at it. Because 7 is put on by the people. And it's always been for the people, by the people. And people are going to rise up to continue it. That's just what will happen in the future. God has a plan for all things. But we have to remember this. Did you have something to say?
Yeah, 7 wasn't an accident. 7 came at an unexpected time, and very quickly 7 grew into something that was incredible. Now, obviously, I wish you hadn't have gone to the seminary, and I wish that Ed hadn't gone up to Andrews, and I wish this was still going every single Friday evening. And 7 fulfilled a role and got so many people involved in 7 that then got involved in church. But 7 wasn't an accident. I know that the Lord was in this.
Yeah, the Lord was in it. And as we move into this next season, we have to remember that the Lord is still in it, because the Lord is in his church. And I say that because as we move into this transition, I think we have to remember the message of 7. So like 7 might be changing, things with 7 might be changing, but the message of 7 remains the same, and the message is simple. It is to love more. That's what it is. And we get it from Matthew 22, 37 through 40. It reads, Jesus replied, "Love the Lord your God with all of your heart, all of your soul, all of your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. The second is like it, love your neighbor as yourself. All the law and prophets hang on these words." 7 is a love more movement. 7 is a movement of people saying we want to love our neighbor, we want to love God, and we want to do it more and more every single day. But the beauty is that that actually has nothing to really do with 7. It has to do with the gospel. The gospel charges us to do that. And so even though 7 is pausing, we as a church, wherever we are, I'm headed to a new church. People are heading to different school. I think of Wilfred going to med school, other people going to med school who have been involved in this community. All of us have an amazing opportunity wherever we are, whether it's in the sanctuary or whether it's in this youth room or whether it's anywhere. We can still love more. And how can we do that, Pastor Elsie? What's some ways here in this community?
Oh, I think every single one of us has been given a gift. Every single one of us needs an active relationship with God, and that comes like any relationship, by talking to God through prayer, by listening to God by his word and following the leading of the Holy Spirit, and by participating with God in ministry. I believe that we should always give people an opportunity to participate in ministry. If we don't give people that opportunity, in many ways we're stealing from them. If we grab those ministry opportunities for ourselves, we're stealing. Everybody should have an opportunity to follow the leading of God on their hearts and be involved in something. And the most important thing that this church does, in my opinion, is give people an opportunity to be involved, to partner with God, and to do ministry. God has called each one of us to take the gospel to the world, and he's given us gifts. And every single one of us, in the spirit of loving more, loving God more, loving each other more, has been called to be involved. And so you can dream up a ministry. We have so many things here that we do, and we have so many needs. We have these children's rooms all the way down this wing. We're hoping and anticipating to open up the whole church again, and we want you to be involved, because you know that things are dropping down. There are some people that during this time when the church has almost been underground, there have been times that people have moved on, or their children have gone up a Sabbath school class and they're no longer involved. We need an army of people to come in and be involved in this church and in this ministry. This ministry has been lay-led for the last year or so. Lay people have run this, and they've run it perfectly because they followed the call of God on their hearts. When Obviously, Kyle went to seminary, and when Ed followed him a few months later, it was all lay people leading this. And the blessing has been through those lay leaders because they followed the burden that God put on their hearts to be involved and do something magical and amazing and incredible for God. This thing called Seven that has connected so many people to God during this season of COVID.
Yeah. I love how you just listed how this thing is just driven by people. And like we said a few minutes ago, we can't even begin to list off all the people. More names keep flooding in my head. Jose, you have just all these different people that I could think of, that you could think of. And so the thing that I think we want to leave you with is this. Whoever you are, whatever part you had in Seven, maybe this is even like your first time watching it, we want to encourage you to continue loving more. We want to continue to encourage you to walk in the way of love for God, love for people. And I think the question we want to close this with tonight is a simple one. In this next season, how are you going to love more? What's the thing you can do? What's the way you can get involved? What's the way you can change someone's life? Take some time, be with Jesus, ask him what you can do. But don't let this pause stop you from your mission. And that mission for me and for you and for all of us is that we will love the Lord our God and we will love people. Nothing bigger, nothing better than we can do. Seven, we love you. We can't wait to see you again. May you have an amazing Sabbath tonight. How do we do, folks?
Sing this with me. Here I stand before you now, as honestly as I know how. Broken by the days gone by, Spirit held my soul to rise. I try my best, but still I fail. And even then, you're with me there. You remind me I'm a child of God, regardless of the things I've done. All my hope is found in perfect love. He's our perfect love. Sing this with me. Your mercy. Your mercy, it triumphs over judgment. Love wider than horizons. He's stronger than all sin. Lord, your kindness, it leads us to repentance, into the heart of God. Your heart, oh God, is all I want. They say that it's impossible to ever save a sinner's soul. But my God says to the prodigal, that's you and me, my beloved one, you're welcome home. Sing your mercy. Your mercy, yeah, it triumphs over judgment. Love wider than horizon. He's stronger than all sin. Lord, your kindness, oh, it leads us to repentance, into the heart of God. Your heart, oh God, is all I want. Let this be our prayer tonight. And all to Jesus I surrender. All to Him I freely give. And I will ever love and trust Him. In His presence daily live. Oh, to Jesus I surrender. All to Him I freely give. And I will ever love and trust Him. In His presence daily live. Would you say that one more time? Oh, to Jesus I surrender. All to Him I freely give. And I will ever love and trust Him. In His presence daily live. Oh, let's sing of His mercy. Your mercy, it triumphs over judgment. Love wider than horizons. He's stronger than all sin. Lord, your kindness, oh, it leads us to repentance, into the heart of God. Your heart,
Hello, my name is Pastor Douglas, and this has been 7.
I don't talk like that.
You kind of do sometimes.
I don't.
I don't.
I don't do it.
I don't do it.
No, I know who does this.
All right. Guys, we're so grateful you joined us tonight. And like we said, 7 is pausing, but loving more doesn't have to. May you have an incredible Sabbath as you continue to follow after Jesus.